Today's is Professor Will, CBMD, PhD. Today's Friday, July 27, 2018. It is 9:45, 11 seconds a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take out angle. The angle cut out of a piece of paper so that the paper can be rolled into a right circular cone. Tangent tan. The trig function tangent, written tan degree. Tan degree equals sin degree over cos degree. For acute angles, tan degree can be found by the SOHCAHTOA definition. Tangent line, a line that touches a curve at a point without crossing over. Formally, it is a line which intersects a differentiable curve at a point where the slope of a curve equals the slope of a line. Tautochrome, a cycloid hanging downwards. Note, tautochrome is a term from Greek meaning the same time. The special property of tautochrome is the fact that a bead sliding down a tautochrome-shaped frictionless wire will take the same amount of time to reach the bottom no matter how high or low the release point. In fact, since a tautochrome is also a berthusochrome, the bead will take the shortest possible time to reach the bottom out of all possible shapes of the wire. Taylor polynomial, nth degree Taylor polynomial, an approximation of a function using terms from the function's Taylor series. An nth degree Taylor polynomial uses all the Taylor series terms up to and including the term using an nth derivative. Taylor series, a power series in x minus a for a function f. Note, if a equals 0, the series is called a Maclaurin series. Taylor series remainder, a quantity that measures how accurately a Taylor polynomial estimates the sum of a Taylor series. Term. Parts of an expression are series separated by plus or minus signs, or the parts of a sequence separated by commas. Terminal side of an angle, the ray where a measurement of an angle stops. Tessellate. To cover a plane with identically shaped pieces which do not overlap or leave blank spaces. The pieces do not have to be orientated identically. A tessellation may use tiles of 1, 2, 3, or any finite number of shapes. Tetrahedron, regular tetrahedron. A polyhedron with 4 triangular faces, or a pyramid with a triangular base. Note, a regular tetrahedron which has faces that are equilateral triangles is one of the 5 Platonic solids. Theorem, an assertion that can be proved true using the rules of logic. A theorem is proven from axioms, postulates, or other theorems already known to be true. Menelaw's theorem, a theorem of Menelaw's, a theorem relating the way 2 sevians of a triangle divide each other and the 2 of the triangle sides. Pappus theorem, theorem of Pappus, a method for finding the volume of a solid of revolution. The system equals the product of the area of the region being rotated times the distance traveled by the centroid of the region in one rotation. Third quartile, high quartile, higher quartile, Q3. For a set of data, a number for which 75% of the data is less than that number. The third quartile is the same as the median of the part of the data which is greater than the median, same as 75 percentile. Three-dimensional coordinates, a system for locating points in 3 dimensions. This is typically done using x, y, and z coordinates, but any variables may be used. 3 dimensions, three-dimensional space. The property of the space in which we live and move that indicates motion can take place in 3 mutually perpendicular directions. This is often expressed with 3-dimensional coordinates. Formally saying a space has 3 dimensions means that you can find 3 vectors in the space for which none is a linear combination of the other 2. In addition, in any set of 4 vectors, one of them can be written as a linear combination of the other 3. Oblique asymptote, tilted asymptote, a linear asymptote that is neither horizontal nor vertical. Note, oblique asymptotes always occur for rational functions which have a numerator polynomial that is 1 degree higher than the denominator polynomial. Parent functions, toolkit functions, a set of basic functions used as building blocks for more complicated functions. Torus, a donut shape. Formally, a torus is a surface of revolution obtained by revolving in 3-dimensional space. A circle about a line which does not intersect the circle. Transcendental numbers, real numbers that are not algebraic, that is, real numbers that cannot be a root of a polynomial equation with integer coefficients e and pi are transcendental. Transformations, operations that alter the form of a figure. The standard transformations are translations, reflections, dilations, stretches, compressions, contractions or shrinks, and rotations. Transitive property of equality. Following property. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. One of the equivalence properties of equality. Shift translation glide, a transformation in which a graph or a geometric figure is picked up and moved to another location without any change in size or orientation. Transpose of a matrix which is formed by turning all the rows of a given matrix into columns and vice versa. The transpose of matrix A is written A to the power of t. Transversal, a line that cuts across a set of lines or the sides of a plane figure. Transversals often cut across parallel lines. Trapezium, U.S. usage, a quadrilateral with no parallel sides. Trapezoid, U.S. usage, definition 1. A quadrilateral which has a pair of opposite sides which are parallel. The parallel sides are called the bases, and the other two sides are called the legs. U.S. usage, definition 2. A quadrilateral which has one parallel pair of opposite sides, and one non-parallel pair of opposite sides. The parallel sides are called the bases, and the other two sides are called the legs. UK usage, the same as the US word trapezium. The UK word trapezium means the same as the US word trapezoid, and vice versa. Trapezoid rule, a method for approximating a definite integral, using linear approximations of f. Triangle, a polygon with three sides. Congruence test for triangles. SSS, SAS, ASA, AAS, and HL. These tests describe combinations of congruent sides and or angles that are used to determine if two triangles are congruent. Triangle inequality, a mathematical restatement of the concept that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The triangle inequality states that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. Triangle inequality with absolute value, an alternate version of the triangle inequality. Similarity test for triangles, AA, HL, SAS, and SSS similarity. These tests describe combinations of congruent angles and are proportional sides that are used to determine if two triangles are similar. Triangulation, a method of locating the position of an object by observing the direction and or distance to the object from two or more observation points. Trichotomy, the property of real numbers which guarantees that for any two real numbers A and B, exactly one of the following must be true. A is less than B, and A is equal to B, or A is greater than B. Trigonometry, trig, the study of triangles, with emphasis on calculations involving the lengths of sides and the measures of angles. Trigonometry is also known as trig. Trigonometry is based on the six functions sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Trig also includes studies of the properties of these functions and their graphs. Finally, trig involves the analysis of circles and periodic motion. Trig functions, circular functions, the six functions sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. These functions can be defined several different ways. These include SOHCAHTOA definitions, circle definitions, and unit circle definitions. Trig substitution, a method for computing integrals, often used when integrands contain expressions of the form a squared minus x squared, comma, a squared plus x squared, comma, or x squared minus a squared. Trig values are special angles, exact values of trig functions. Certain angles have trig values that may be computed exactly. Trinomial, a polynomial with three terms, which are not like terms. The following are all trinomials. X squared plus 2x minus 3 comma 3x to the power 5 minus 8x to the power 4 plus x to the power 3 comma and a squared b plus 13x plus c. Triple multiplied by 3. Note in the vector term triple product, triple means that three vectors are used, not that anything is multiplied by 3. Triple root, a root of polynomial equation with multiplicity 3, also refers to a zero, a polynomial function with multiplicity 3. Triple scalar product, a way of multiplying three vectors in which the product is scalar. The absolute value of a triple product is the volume of a parallelepiped formed by three vectors. The triple product of vectors u, comma, v, comma, and w is u times, in bracket, v times w. Trivial, a solution or example that is ridiculously simple and of little interest. Often solutions or examples involving the number 0 are considered trivial. Non-zero solutions or examples are considered non-trivial. For example, the equation x plus 5y equals 0 has a trivial solution, x equals y, comma, y equals 0. Non-trivial solutions include x equals 5, comma, y equals minus 1, x equals minus 2, comma, y equals 0.4. Truncated cone or pyramid, a cone or pyramid which has its apex cut off by the intersecting plane. The plane may be either oblique or parallel to the base. Note, if the truncating plane is parallel to the base, the figure is called a frustum. Truncated cylinder or prism, a cylinder or prism which has one base cut off by an intersecting plane. The other base is unaffected by the truncation. The truncating plane may be either oblique or parallel to the bases. Truncating a number, a method of approximating a decimal number by dropping all decimal places past a certain point without rounding. For example, 3.14159265 can be truncated to 3.1415. Note, if 3.14159265 are rounded to the same decimal place, the approximation would be 3.1416. Twin primes, prime numbers that are 2 apart from each other, such as 3 and 5. Other examples are 11 and 13, 17 and 19, and 101 and 103. Two dimensions, two-dimensional. The property of a plane that indicates that motion can take place in 2 perpendicular directions. Formally saying a plane has only 2 dimensions means that you can find 2 vectors in the plane for which neither is a multiple of the other. In addition, for any set of 3 vectors in the plane, one of them can be written as a linear combination of the other 2. Two-intercept form for the equation of a line, where A is the intercept and B is the y-intercept.